Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we have to talk about the launch box for 4th edition of Age of Sigmar. Personally, I would like to say that I'm super happily surprised about the contents of this box because I like it much more than I expected that I would like it, and not only in the contents but also in terms of the quality of the miniatures, so I'm very happy by this specific launch box. But of course, this whole video is going to be my personal point of view, so I encourage you to let me know in the comments what you think about this box and the contents of this box. Okay, enough of the introduction, let's go straight to the point, let's go to check what's inside of this box. So of course I'm going to put on my glasses because I have to read this, I didn't memorize the whole article of the contents of this box, so let's start. If we get this box, we're going to get 24 Stormcast Eternal miniatures. I'm not an expert in Age of Sigmar, I'm starting to get into it at the moment, so as far as I know, Stormcast Eternals, they are a very elite army, so having 24 of them, it's a very good starting point from my point of view, of course. And then we're going to get 50 Skaven miniatures, this is more like a horde army, so it's really good that we're going to have almost the double of the miniatures. Again, from my point of view, it's a very good starting point. Then we are also going to have 4 terrain features. I really like this, I will talk about this later. 2 range rulers that are probably the best ones that I have ever seen in every starter set possible ever, so I'm very happy with that. We also get the Warhammer Age of Sigmar core book, because of course this is a launch box and we need to have the core book inside. Aside of that, we have also Spearhead, Fire and Jade book. We have a double-sided game board, Spearhead card deck, and also the General's Handbook cards. Again, I am very happily surprised because this list of contents is almost perfect. I mean, this is how a launch box or even a starter set should look like. We have like a lot of stuff inside. So I'm very pleased by this box and I really like how it looks. And obviously we need to talk a little bit more about the contents, so I would like to start with the miniatures. So let's start talking about the Stormcast Eternals. I would like to start with the Liberators because we have 10 of them in this box and they are not that new. I mean, they were revealed a while ago. We knew that this unit existed and how it looked, but still I have to say that I'm surprised because they are better than I expected. I thought that we were going to have, let's say, 5 of them and then the exact same 5 again, like having duplicates. But no, it seems like we are going to have some weapon options, because when we look at them carefully in this image where we have like all the miniatures, we can see that we can have them like shield plus hammer, then we have the option of having one of them with a hammer with 2 hands, and then we also have some of them that they carry like 2 hammers. So I'm very happy about that, because even if we have the same unit twice, I mean 5 Liberators plus 5 Liberators, we can make them look different, and that's something that I'm always happy about. Then we have the new Prosecutors. This is also another unit that we saw previously, this is not a new reveal, but still I would like to mention that I really like how they look, because they look awesome, they look fantastic, they look great if we compare them with the previous one. From my point of view, of course, I really like how these miniatures look. Here I can have some small complaints, and they are not just complaints, they are just like my personal preference, that there are things that maybe I will be like, maybe I would like them to have a different kind of helmets because I'm not a huge fan of this one, or maybe they could have like a nicer base or something like that, because for example I think that they are just attached to a stick, so of course I would like the base to be a little bit more like a diorama, let's say. But still, they look nice, they look fantastic. I'm in love with these miniatures, those wings look fantastic and I really like what they did with them. The Reclusians look beyond perfection from my point of view. I love these miniatures. I had to make a video explaining why I love them so much and why they got me so much into Age of Sigmar, because when I saw them they look fantastic to me. They look very I don't know, they look very grimdark, let's say. They look really good. I'm in love with them. They are probably one of my most favorite miniatures in the box, but there are some characters that they look really good. So of course right now I have more competition there, but they were the first ones that they won my heart. So they look very nice. I really like how they look. I love those axes, I love the runes, I love the shields. I really like all the detail that they have around. They are like full of things going on. I like those two humans with them. They look great. As I said, I made a video talking about them specifically, so of course I'm going to leave it in the description just in case that you would like to check it. In this box we have 4 different Stormcast characters, so let's start with the first of them, the Night Questor. This miniature, actually I don't get that much the let's say the role that it's making in this specific box, because the look of this miniature is completely the opposite to everything that we can see here. In terms of course, this looks like the proper description says, this looks like a knight on a quest. This looks like your let's say your character in an open world role-playing game after spending 60 hours in it, because it looks like an end game hero, explorer, everything, and it looks great. I really like how it looks. It's just that it doesn't fit too much into the theme in my point of view, but still I love this one. I really like how this one looks. I like how he doesn't have like a fight pose. He's pushing the torch to the front, like he's trying to illuminate something, like he's looking for something. I kinda imagine him in some kind of cave or something, or at night, I don't know, looking for something. I don't know. It looks great. I'm in love with this one because, as I said, he looks really unique, and when you check the Stormcast Eternals in this box, the look of this one is completely different to what we can see about the other one. So I'm very happy with this one, and to be honest, I like this character a lot. My only complaint is that I don't like the thing that he has like here. I don't know why. I don't like that kind of stuff. So it's like, to me it's maybe a little bit meh, but I think that maybe if painted in a different way, or in last resort we can just exchange the head, it's not a big issue. Aside from that, it looks perfect. I also like how he has the shield in the back, and that's perfect because as I said, it looks like a proper explorer, and I like that. I like this concept and I like the theme a lot. The Lord Veritant looks great as well. I'm a huge fan of flames in swords, and of course this one will gain extra points for me because of that. I also like he has flames in both of his arms, like he has like the flame sword and then he has like this other flame. He looks really good. Here we have a little bit more of this darker tone that we can see in the Reclusians and the other characters that we will see. So this is quite nice. I also like the skull in the shoulder pad, and it looks great. He has like this small pet, this weird dog bird thing. I like what they did with these animals. I don't know the name, sorry. But I like what they did. They look like a really mix of creatures. It's not like they just put them together and... No, it's like they melted them to look like a unique thing. So I like that. It looks great. I like the cape. I like that also he has like the shield in the back. I like these shields in the back because, I don't know, it's kinda like badass sometimes, right? It looks great. I like it. I love the Lord Terminus. Like literally, I'm in love with this miniature. It looks fantastic. I love it. I mean, where do I start talking about this miniature? I love the pose. The pose looks fantastic. It's great. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's great. It's super nice. I really like that pose. I like all the details that I can see in this miniature. I like how the cape is slightly going to one side with the wing. I like that the helmet, he has the angriest face that I have ever seen in a helmet. I wouldn't like to have this person in front of me. He looks very... he has like a really strong presence. I like it. I like the darker armor. I really like that axe. That axe is fantastic. Not only the blade, also the back of it. It's great. I mean, I don't know what to complain about this miniature or how to make it even look nicer. To me, this one looks perfect, and I love this character. I love this character. I hope that one day I will be able to paint this one, because I kinda want to have it in my hand and play with him and paint him and have him on the battlefield just to admire him, because that's my point with this miniature. I want to admire this miniature. I also like that we have like a human with him that has also like a similar pose, slightly different but similar, and it also looks nice. I mean, I really like what they did with this miniature. The last miniature of the Stormcast Eternals is Lord Vigilant, a mounted hero to lead all of these forces, and I have to say that, of course, surprise surprise, I like it a lot. Because, I mean, maybe he's not my most favorite hero in this box, because I like much more the previous ones, and because the other ones feels a little bit more unique to me. This one feels like something that I have seen before, like it reminds me of other Stormcast characters, but still I really like how it looks. Maybe I think that the mounted thing, like this birdie thing, could look to other side, so we will see the head from the side, and I think that it will be a little bit nicer, the pose, but still it looks quite nice. Maybe if we turn it a little, but maybe we will be losing details in the character and the axe, but still, minor complaints, just preference. The miniature looks great. I really like the mount. I really like the armor. I like how he looks. The axe looks quite nice. And I mean, with mounted things, maybe I like a little bit more if they had some kind of spear thing. But still, as I said, minor complaints. It looks fantastic. And also it looks like it's the biggest miniature in the whole box. So of course he has like a huge presence as well, and that's always very nice for the leader of the Stormcast forces to have like a really strong presence. But as I said, I like it a lot, and it looks great. I'm very happy. I have to say that I'm very happy with all the Stormcast Eternals in this box. I love every single Stormcast Eternal in this box. And in the previous video that I made talking about Age of Sigmar, I mentioned that at first I didn't like them, and now here I have a box where I like every single each of them. The only complaints that I have, they are so minor that they can even be fixed easily with almost nothing. So I'm super happy with what I'm seeing here, and yes, I'm very happy. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about this other side of the box the same way that I did with the Stormcast. Let's start with the most basic unit, and in this box we have 40 clan rats. That maybe can be a little bit discouraging for some people if they don't like this specific function, but I don't think that it's that bad, because as we established, this is more like a horde army, and you kinda want to have like a lot of the most basic units. And to me, to have in this box 2 units of 20 clan rats, it's not that bad. I like that, and I also like the miniatures by themselves, because for example, when we look at this image, probably there's duplicates. I'm not going to start looking at each rat individually, but for example, if we look overall, we can see that we have 2 different banners, and that's very nice. It's not just that we are going to have one unit and then the exact same unit with exact same characters and exact same poses. So we have some different options, it seems, at least with the banner that I can see there, that we have 2 banners. That's what I can see from there. Maybe we will have to wait to see the actual miniature assemble and how the spruce looks like before we have like a proper opinion about them. But I like what I see. I like the rats by themselves. I think that they have the perfect amount of detail, the perfect amount of things going on there, because if you tell me right now that I have to paint 40 of these rats, I will be a little bit scared, because it will feel much more like something that I have to do and I have to go through rather than something that I will enjoy doing. But no, I have to say that they look like, as I said, they have the perfect amount of details, so they look like they should be easy to paint. And I like how they look very nice, they look like clan rats, and that's great. I am a huge fan of these miniatures. I'm a huge fan of this Warblob with G-Tails. I think that I said that properly. I like them a lot, and I'm going to explain why, okay? I like the concept of having one rat carrying a shield, protecting the sniper, and the sniper, he has like this big gun, so of course he cannot hold it by itself, so it's nice to have like some point to place the gun. And I like that having two rats working together to shoot the enemy, and one of them is protecting both of them. And I love the shields, because in the shields you have like this metal thing, so the rat that is carrying the shield can look through the shield. So I love these kind of small details, and I like how those weapons look like. I'm very happily surprised by these miniatures, and I have to say that I really like them, how they look, to be honest. I'm very happily surprised. The Rat Ogres are probably my most favorite units from this faction. I always like them, I think that they look fantastic, I like the concept of them, and I really like how they look here. And actually I cannot wait for them to release like a proper full kit with like a lot of different weapon options for them, and that's going to be great. But from the ones in this box, I really like all of them, because all of them, they feel unique, they are carrying different things, and that's great for these starter sets. And I really like how they look. I like the one with the helmet, I like the poses that they have. They look very... they look kinda disgusting in a good way, because of course this is like something that shouldn't look beautiful, but of course they look great. I like all the detail. Maybe it's a little bit weird some parts, but of course they look like they are like made up by some lab rats, so of course that's how they're supposed to look, and those weird things are looking good in the context of the miniatures, so of course I really like how they look. I cannot wait to see them in person, because of course I would like to compare the size with, for example, the Stormcast, because yes, I can see that in the box, but I would like to see that in person, because it's always when you can see it the best. As I said, I really like how these Rat Ogres look like, and I'm very happy with the refresh that they got. I think that they look fantastic. Now let's talk about the Rattling War Plaster, and I have to say that again, another beautiful miniature. I really like this one because I like the concept we have. I think that there are 4 rats carrying this gun, and then we have one in them like shooting the gun. So of course it looks like a nice thing to watch, because there's like a lot of things going on there, and in the good way. This looks like a proper nice big gun from them, and I actually would like to see it in person, because it looks like there's like a lot of detail. I really like the mask of the rat that is shooting this weapon, and like he's completely different from the ones that they are like carrying the weapon. We can clearly see here which one has like a higher status and which ones are like the lower status in these clans, so that's always quite nice to see. And I mean, I cannot complain. I like this one a lot. It looks really cute. It looks really cute. Yes, I want to use that word, cute. It's great. It's something that I also really like, and I didn't mention it, is that all of these miniatures, they look exactly the same as they look in the trailer. So probably they designed the miniatures, they made the miniatures, and then they made the trailer. I want to think that, because they look exactly the same, and that's really interesting. I like a lot this weapon. I mean, we know that this faction needs to have these big weapons, because of course that's what they do. Again, another good miniature. Now let's talk about the characters. We have 3 of them, and the first one is this engineer, that he's not new. I mean, we knew him already because he was announced a while ago, and as I said, what can we say? A lot. very nice details. I like the pose. I like the armor actually, because here we can start to see that the engineers, they have like this higher status, so of course he's dressed properly, and I really like the detail. There's also like a lot of small rats around him, and that's really good. I like that kind of details, and I like how he's looking through that thing that it has like an elbow. So it's funny to look at. I like this character. The Grey Seer is simply perfect. This miniature is pure perfection. I really like what they did with it. I mean, everything in this miniature is basically perfect. I enjoy a lot the base as well, because I don't know, there's things going on there. We have like this bell with the rats going out of it. That's really nice. It's not just some simple rock or something like that. No, it's something. They put more effort into this one. And I also like the pose. I like the horns. I like the staff that it's carrying. I really like the ropes and how they are moving, because I can see like a very nice synergy between these parts of the rope, that they are like a little bit more curly, and the movement of the tail as well, so it looks very interesting. I really like how this one looks. I really like what they did with it. If I have to complain or say something that maybe I will change, is that I think that I would like the base to maybe be a little bit bigger, because I think that there's like a lot of the miniature going out of the base, but it's just a very minor thing, and maybe it's because of the perspective that I'm looking at the miniature. Maybe if I have it in person and I turn it, I will be like, okay, this base is perfect, so I was wrong about that. But of course, this is just my first impressions based on the pictures that you're seeing right here. As I said, it looks great. I think it's perfection. I think that when I think about the Grey Seer and what it is, and then I see this image, I will be like, okay, this is it, they nailed it, it's perfect, it looks great. And finally, we have the leader of this side of the box. We have the Claw Lord, and I have to say the same. I think that this miniature is pure perfection. I need to really think hard to look things that I don't like about this miniature. Maybe that horn in the head is a little bit off, because I can see that he has like a big one and a small one. It's a little bit weird, but aside from that, I don't have complaints. I love the armor. I like the armor. He looks like a proper leader with that really nice looking armor. I like that. And I also like the weapons that he's carrying. I really like that spear. As I said previously with the leader of the Stormcast, I really like when we have like a mounted unit and that unit has a spear. I like that much more than a short weapon. So of course, extra points for this one. I really love the spear. I really like the paint job actually, because those colors are beautiful, and I like a lot what I see there. And I like that he has a spear in one hand and some kind of super pistol in the other hand. That's going to be cool. And I have to say about that beast that he's riding, funny, a rat riding a rat, that it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting, and that makes it perfect. To be honest, it looks really cool. I like a lot what I'm seeing right there, and as well I like the base. It looks like it has like a presence. When we look at all those rats and we check this one, it's like, okay, this one has like a strong presence compared with the previous ones. This one has like more like heavy armor. I mean, looking at that beast that he's riding, that it looks quite not very healthy. It's surprising that it's carrying like that lord on top with all of this heavy armor. But it's nice. I hope that at some point they will release some unit that they will all carry. They all will be carrying this heavy armor. It will look very nice. And as I said, I also like a lot this miniature. It looks perfect and I'm very happy with it. And that's my opinion about every single miniature in this box. There's a lot of them. That's great. They all look very nice. That's great. And personally, I like all of them, so of course I'm going to be very tempted by this box and maybe starting in Age of Sigmar, so that's not nice for me, but that means that they did a really good job when designing all of these miniatures and deciding which ones were going to be the contents of this box. And I have to say that I really like what they did here. It's something similar to Leviathan box that they did for Warhammer 40k, but maybe a little bit better in terms of, if you get this box, you have everything that you need to start playing Spearhead games. It's like you get this box and you have like the two Spearhead factions here, and you have the board with the objectives there in the actual board, and also terrain to have in the box. So it's like you have everything that you need. For example, in the Leviathan box, maybe we had bigger units, like for example we had some Tyrannid monsters and such, but there was no scenography or terrain to play with. And I think that this is also like a huge upgrade if we compare this box with the previous one with Dominion. So I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here, because of course it's going to cost a lot, but for sure it will be worth it, because of course it's always worth it if we compare. Like we have the rules, we have the board, we have the terrain, we have more than 70 miniatures, so it's like a huge incentive to get this kind of box. And it's like that you can just get the box with someone maybe, and you can start playing games. So that's always a huge advantage, and I really like what they are doing with these Spearhead games, especially because I can see the prices are rising. So of course having like a full proper huge army is more difficult, and maybe it's going to be wiser to focus into your most favorite faction. But with these Spearhead boxes, if it works, because of course they mentioned that they tested it, but we will have to play this and see how people react, how people enjoy it or not. So we will have to wait for that. But the premise is quite good. You get this huge launch box and you have everything to start playing with other people. And then you can add other spearheads, or you can add a little bit more of terrain, and you can start playing in a much more simple way. And still you can always, here you have like two big forces, so of course you can add some more units from the range, and you will have like your proper full army, and you will be able to play properly the big games. So as I said, I really like what they did with this box. As I said, I like the miniatures, I like the contents, I think that they did a great job. We will have to wait and see when this comes out. Hopefully there will be enough boxes for everyone that wants one. That will be the expected thing. So now let's wait and see how much it will cost, because of course that's also going to be very important. And actually I'm very tempted to get into Age of Sigmar, as I was saying. So as I said, I like a lot this box. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I encourage you to let me know in the comments what you think about this box. And with all of this being said, this is the end of the video, because I can continue talking, but it's going to be much more of me saying, oh, I like this is cool, this is fantastic, this is perfect, and maybe repeating again the small things that I don't like and why I don't like them. But with all of that being said, this is the end. So as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.